Sorry, Honorable Member for Lower Badibu. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the floor. Honorable Speaker, first of all, I would like to thank the Special Select Committee for the wonderful job that they have done. And however, that Honorable Speaker, I would like to refer this August Assembly to the Constitution, Section 35 of the Constitution. With your permission, Ma, I would like to read Section 35, 1 and 2. It says, an act of the National Assembly may authorize the taking during any period of emergency of measures that are reasonably justifiable for dealing with the situation that exists in the Gambia. 2 says, it says, nothing contained in or done under the authority of such an act shall be held to be inconsistent with or in contravention of Section 19, 23, 24, other than subsection 5 to 8 thereof, or 25 of this section, Constitution, to the extent that it is reasonably justifiable in the circumstances arising or existing during a period of public emergency for the purpose of dealing with the situation. Honorable Speaker, this has clearly informed us that we are dealing with a situation which is an emergency situation. And we as parliamentarians, the Honorable Member for Woodley West normally says this here, if people are confused outside, we should relieve them here by giving them the information that is accurate. We should sensitize them about what is going on. And to do that, we should be factual. We should not be carried by people. We should know exactly what information to dismiss to the public. Honorable Speaker, having said that we as human beings, there are two things that control our activities. One is we all have faith that we belong to, and two is the laws that we make to guide our activities under the surface of this land. And one of which is this Constitution. And according to our faith, there is one thing that they call as al-dariyatul amsa. These are 5 key things that we, the human beings, as Muslim faith, we should guide jealously. Number 1 of which, Honorable Speaker, is Islam. 2 is faith, is our lives, our lineage, our minds, and our wealth. So I've been saying that, Honorable Speaker, we know exactly that what is going on in this country. I feel so bad yesterday when I had honorable members in this August Assembly saying that they don't believe that this COVID-19 is existing in this world. What message are they sending to the public? Honorable Speaker, we have just cited the Constitution, and the Quran has informed us that وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِكُمْ رَحِيمًا. What does this mean? It means that don't destroy yourself, because your Lord loves you and he has mercy for you. So if our Lord has mercy for us and he loves us, why is it that we are throwing ourselves into the mess? Because we want to impress people outside. Because those outside are not well equipped with the information that you have. Why would we do that? Honorable Speaker, having said that, I will go straight to the regulations. That is the closure of educational institutions and places of worship emergency power regulation. I am not much comfortable with this regulation, Honorable Speaker, and I would like the Honorable Attorney General to clear my doubts on this. Because if you look at it, at the cover page, it said closure of educational institutions and places of worship, emergency powers regulations, 2020. And it says the closure of educational institution of worship shall be closed to the public, shall, which means mandatory. That's what they inform us. And if you go to the other page, it says permissible uses. Notwithstanding Regulation 2, an educational institution may be open for official use by its administrative staff. And now you have already informed us that this is mandatory. Now you say it's permissible. And if you go further, you say a mosque or a church may be open for the sole purpose of the call to prayer or a religious announcement of any other form. Any call to prayer from Zuhur to Asr is a proclamation that come for prayer. And that is any other form of announcement that you have to come. This is a religious announcement. So if people go to the mosque to pray and the police go there to arrest them, who arrest them?
Honorable Speaker, I want to observe something.
So I believe we would like the Honorable Anthony Jawara.
Can we take what he is?
Yeah, I want to observe something.
Pardon?
I want to observe.
You want to observe? If it is a point of observation, you get permission
Yeah, point
from
of
me.
observation. I think the honorable member.
He has a point of observation.
Yes,
Honorable,
yes.
please, can we have one meeting? Yes, thank you. He has a point of observation. Okay, very well.
Yeah, I think the honorable member is going out of context because we are not dealing with the regulations. We are only dealing with the reports of the select committee, I think.
But you will recall that yesterday, honorable members made reference to the regulations as well. So go ahead, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, my brother. But I think, as the Honorable Speaker said, I will not go to that. I will not go to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Honorable Speaker, so this regulation, closure of educational institutions and places, I would like the Honorable Attorney General to clear my doubts on this. Having said that, if we go for Honorable Speaker, on the report, page 6, the Ministry of Justice, we heard that the first paragraph, at the midst of the paragraph, it says, while the Minister of Interior reported that his ministry, up to the time of the committee's engagement, did not receive copies of the regulation, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice did not receive copies. Ministry, up to the time of the committee's engagement, did not receive copies of the regulation. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, on the other hand, argued that he had handed over copies of the 4 regulations to the police. The Ministry of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs also reported that it had not received copies of the regulation. Honorable Speaker, this has informed us that there is no communication between our ministries. Because if there is communication between our ministries, honestly speaking, lapses like this should not be. If we go for our Honorable Speaker, Ministry of Interior, we were informed that the Ministry of Interior reported that those who are to enforce the regulation, that is the security service, have no prior training on any of the regulations. So if they don't have any prior training to this regulation, how are they going to enforce this regulation, Honorable Speaker? Because if people have any other issues outside, the only enforcement agency that they reported to is the police. So if those police don't even know how to judge within these people, where are we? Honorable Speaker, if you go for it, the ministry indicated that it was further constrained by the lack of personal protective equipment, that is the PPE, such as masks to help protect themselves in the course of their work, as enforcement might sometimes require physically handling or coming into the contact with the individuals. We call the police or the soldiers, the armed forces, because they are equipped. They have something that they can fight with. And here people were saying that we have an enemy, that invisible enemy that we are fighting with. How can we tell our police to go and fight with things that they themselves are not secure? Whom are they going to fight with? So I think in all fairness, we need to be fair to them, to equip them in order for them to do their service the way we want, Honorable Speaker. Going for the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, at the second paragraph, we were informed that the Justice Minister, in his expert opinion, was of the view that the law as per Emergency Power Act 1965 does not specify a time frame as to when compensation that are to be made as a result of emergency situation should be made. But if my mind could recall, we were informed by the finance minister that this thing will be done soon. He did not give him this time frame as the Honorable Minister for Justice has indicated. But I would like the ministers to know that we are dealing with an emergency situation. And an emergency situation requires an emergency measures. So for them to give us an open statements like this, we don't know where we should go or where we should stop. I don't think this is helping us as a nation. Honorable Speaker, going further, page 8 of the report, we were told by the report that the Gambia Christian Council, that is the GCC, and the Gambia Supreme Islamic Council, GSIC, have also indicated that even though they do encourage their followers to abide by the government regulation, the ban on public gatherings has affected their way of worship. They said, I want to emphasize this point, Honorable Speaker. They said while it is acceptable for them to worship in their homes, coming together to form congregation in mosques and churches is what they would have preferred, particularly on Sundays and Fridays. They said this is what they would prefer, but they don't say that we are going to pray by and force. And the way some members talk here, it seems that the imams has told them that we want to open our mosque by and force. It might be my English language is not that much correct, but just let us read the statement and listen. They say they prefer, but they don't say that we are going to open our mosques and churches. So people have to listen to the language very well before we go and mislead the public. Because the way some members talked here yesterday, I wonder what is going on. Honorable Speaker, I have been saying that if we go further again, the page 10, local government authorities. Honorable Speaker, the local government authorities indicated that the enforcement of the emergency powers regulation would continue to pose huge challenges as the council that are part of the key implementing authorities have neither been consulted nor serve copies of the regulation to comprehend their content. So I don't know how are we going to enforce these laws that we are making. I once says this here, we are very good when it comes to framing our laws and try to put nice words and jargons and put them like that. But the laws cannot be enforced if the enforcers of the laws are not even aware of the very law that they should enforce on our people. So if they don't get copies and they are not aware of what is going on, where are we? So I would like the chairperson to clear my doubts on this. Honorable Speaker, page 14. We were informed that Farafenni General Hospital, that is the NBR, the committee's observations too, they say that there was nobody to take the temperatures of visitors as they enter the hospital. And if you look at the interview with the ground personnel there, what the committee is reporting and what the ground personnel are saying is contradictory, because they were saying that the temperature of everyone at the outpatient department was reported to be taken before any service are rendered. So I don't know which is which. I would like the mover of the report to Honorable Speaker, the last question that I would like to ask is that the issue of government request loans from the IMF. As indicated here, we were informed that the government of the Gambia has requested a rapid credit transfer, that is RCF loan, of 25% of quota of special drawing rights, that is 15.55 million from the International Monetary Fund. But we made to understand that IMF don't give loans to government. So in this bone of contention, Honorable Speaker, what the report is what we read from the report, and what is actually on this internal memo of Ministry of Finance is contradictory. Because we know the international reporting standard of IMF, they don't give loans to government. That's clear. But why would the government request loan from the IMF? Instead, what we know is that the central banks of the third world countries normally, they all have something with the IMF and the World Banks. This is clear to us. But why would our government request a rapid credit transfer from IMF? We know that central bank, CBG, is an autonomous body. CBG is an autonomous body, which we all know, and it is clear to us. But would the government, it is right for the government to request a loan from the IMF? We knew that the CBG can do this on behalf of the government. That is between the CBG and the IMF. But the request here is my bone of contention, and I would like the Minister of Finance to clear this out for us, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, without going further, I think these are some of the observations that I have, and I will thank you so much, and thank the members of the Special Select Committee. Thank you so much.
Very much. Honorable